Thanks for making time for us as always. And of course, we are in the middle of the, quote, off season for the DeWitt County Museum. Remind folks, of course, you're closed down right now. And just maybe give us an update on what goes on when you're not, when the doors aren't open to the public.
Yes, well, every year the museum is closed to tourists January, February, and March. But that does not mean that we are not busy. In fact, sometimes, it's a little more busy, because we take on so many projects. And a lot of times those projects are things that could only be done when the museum was closed and we weren't welcoming visitors. So probably the biggest project that we have going on right now is replacing the wood on the floor of the formal parlor and the music room. So originally they were going to just do the music room, but the board decided to go ahead and do both rooms. And so that wood flooring was delivered last week, and it is currently stacked quite high in the entry hallway. I'm told that the wood needs to acclimate to the conditions of the house before you actually lay it. And I expect that they'll be starting on actually laying the floor sometime next week. So we're very excited about that.
Mm-hmm. When you do projects like that, Joey, do you have to, I know because of like the historical nature of the home, do you have to keep a certain kind of wood? Do you have to like seek out that? And then, does it have to be installed a certain way again because of the historical nature of the home? Do you mind speaking to that a little bit?
Yeah, the board of directors definitely took that into consideration when taking on this project. So you want to make sure that the wood is the right thickness, the right width, so that it's in keeping with what would have been used during that time period. And I'm told there's also going to be some decorative inlay. So that's another reflection of, the board trying to keep this in line with what the home would have been when C.H. Moore resided there from the 1880s up to 1901. So I think it's going to be quite beautiful when it's done. And, we're just really looking forward to that, and seeing how it turns out. So I do not believe, well, I know that the flooring in the formal parlor, I came across some papers the other day. I think that the flooring was last attended to in 1974. And when they did that, they laid a wall-to-wall carpeting, which wasn't really period correct. In the music room, they went with period correct carpeting. It was woven in 12-inch strips and sewn together as it would have been back in the day. But so this is nice, what they're going to do now is going to more reflect what would be a historical accuracy as far as what might have been on the floor at that time.
Is the condition of the floor in such shape it needs replaced? What's going on there?
It probably it probably isn't in that bad of condition. I will say that. What I find interesting about the floor that we found underneath, of course, it's wood and it is, it is original to the house. The really interesting thing about it is that the length of the boards. Some of those boards actually span the entire length of the room. I don't know if you would be able to find lumber that long and that dimension nowadays.
Uh-huh.
But that makes sense. Building materials were different back then. Sizes and dimensions were different back then. And the man who originally built the house, John Bishop, was the man who owned the lumber yard here in Clinton. So if you are the man who owns the lumber yard, I imagine you're going to get the best of the best. You get what you want.
Interesting. Very good. So that sounds like that project is about to get underway then with everything being delivered.
Yep. And so it will certainly be done by the time the museum opens on April 1st. So we're really excited about being able, to open the doors for the 2025 season and everybody can come in and take a look at these beautiful new floors. Now, it will be beautiful when it's done. You should see what the museum looks like now, because obviously all of those furnishings from those 2 rooms had to be moved out.
Oh, wow.
So, the museum, it has a very strange look right now, all furniture everywhere, but, it's quite an upheaval at this moment, but oh my goodness, when it's all done and everything's put back in place and arranged and staged, it will be beautiful.
Very good. So, Joey Long, director of the DeWitt County Museum, our guest on the phone today. Any other maintenance things or happenings in the museum right now, Joey?
Well, I've been working the last couple of weeks. I've been working a lot on the photo preservation project that you and I have talked about before. We had a really good response. We had 33 sponsors step forward to sponsor an image, and I still have more pending, so that's wonderful. So at this point, 15 of the images have been reproduced. Another batch of images will be going over to Wood's photography studio this afternoon. I'll be taking another batch over for him to reproduce for us. And the images are going to be displayed on the gallery wall down in the lower level of the museum. And we've had such a good response from the community that we certainly are going to be able to change those out periodically, because we'll have more than what could actually fit on that gallery board. When we open in April, I would like to, have my gallery board all set, but then also display those images throughout the house so that, people who were kind enough to sponsor an image can come and see their image on display at the museum, and other people can come and tour the house and enjoy these images. And this project has been a lot of fun. I think we talked about this too. I've tried to match the images to the sponsor if there was any way to do that. And I made a really good match the other day. A lady wanted to sponsor a few photographs from the collection, and I pulled a picture, I just happened to have it, of her great-grandfather in front of his wagon at the Weldon Springs, Chautauqua. It's a fantastic image. He has the wagon. It has the family's initial painted on a tarp on the wagon. It's hitched to the horse, and they're out there at the Chautauqua. And so I instantly snatched that one for her, and I sent her a thank you, and I sent her a photocopy of one of the photos that she'd be sponsoring, and she contacted me, and she was just delighted. She said she had no idea that picture even existed. She had never seen it. And again, that's part of the project too. This was a fantastic image, but it never was on the gallery wall, and it was just, stored away where nobody ever saw it. So now it will be reproduced. It'll be out. People will see it. And when they look at that sponsorship tagline, it's going to be so nice that, it will say that it was sponsored by this certain lady who is the great granddaughter of the man that's pictured here in the image.
It's too late to be a part of that effort, right, Joey?
Well, originally I put a deadline of December 31st on this, simply because you have to have a cutoff time so that, then I can go run with it, plan, know what I have, and get everything made and get the exhibit set up. I had a few people come in. I worked on December 31st, and I had more than a few people, actually, I would say, come in on that day, keeping that deadline in mind, and taking out a sponsorship. But I will say, because, I'm still working on the project and still taking things in, if somebody, wanted to take up a sponsorship for an image, they are more than welcome to do that. I would say, just pop a check in the mail with a little note anytime from now through the end of the month, and I'll be happy to receive that and get another image saved.
All right, very good. So that goes on, it sounds like. And remind me, that opportunity was made possible through a grant. Am I remembering that right, Joey?
No, this is actually a sponsorship program. So the sponsorship is $100 per image, And what we're doing is taking old images that have become faded or have foxing or, somehow compromised due to their exposure and the age and whatnot, or pulling images out of albums or storage that never see the light of day. People don't get to see or enjoy. And we're making 11 by 14 reproductions of those images on a material that is impervious to light fade, to biological growth and moisture and whatnot. And then the original will be archivally stored according to best practices. So that image will no longer deteriorate and it'll be stabilized. And then the reproductions are what we will have up on the gallery wall for everyone to enjoy. And this has been interesting too. I think we talked about this before. A very old faded image I had, maybe the first one known of the Clinton Square, it was in such bad condition that we had no idea when we went to work on it that the American flag is proudly displayed in the center of the photo. That came out when Mr. Woods was able to enhance that image, but in just looking at the original image, you had no idea. Yesterday, when a batch came back to me, everyone who had looked at this picture of this house for years and years, it just looked like it was a clapboard house. Once it was enlarged and enhanced, it was like, oh, wow, that house was brick. So a lot of little surprises there. It's pretty interesting.
I'll bet you'll get a lot of that along the way in this journey.
Pardon?
I said I bet you'll get a lot of that along the way in this journey.
Yeah, I think so. So it's just a really neat thing to see, little details that are brought back to life or things that the eye misses, if the picture's really faded. Yeah, it's been neat.
Well, Joey, again, where do folks go to learn about all these efforts and just learn about the DeWitt County Museum of History?
Well, we have a website, and that's chmorehomestead.org, or they can follow our Facebook page. The Facebook page is C.H. Moore Homestead and DeWitt County Museum. So those would be the most up-to-date ways to keep up with what's going on. And there's always something going on. Like we say, even if we're not open for tours, always something going on.
Sounds good. Well, Joey, let's break here. Come back with some more. Joey Long, director of the DeWitt County Museum, and C.H. Moore Homestead, our guest on the phone. More to come with Joey on The Morning Show.
WHOW.
Here's Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson with a big announcement about how you can get Save-A-Lot groceries delivered.
We've been using the DoorDash company. They have partnered with Save-A-Lot, so you can get groceries delivered to your home, and you can order groceries to them. They will come in, shop, pick up the groceries, and bring them to your house. We have a lot of DoorDashers, or Dashers, I think they call themselves, coming in and getting groceries. So it's another service.
Use DoorDash to save up to 40% on your food bill at your Clinton Save-A-Lot. And as Dave always says,
hope to see you soon.
This Miller Media Group radio station and our online daily newspaper, DeWittDailyNews.com, have got winter weather covered. With our exclusive event delay software, closings and cancellations are posted instantly when received, 24/7, and also air every 10 minutes during applicable times. And find out the latest road conditions at the road conditions icon on DeWittDailyNews.com. Whether online or on air, we've got you covered.
DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air and online 24 hours a day. The latest local news stories are heard every hour on Central Illinois' news station, the Big 1520 AM and 92.3 FM WHOW. Stream live at DeWittDailyNews.com. They're also heard every hour on the station that's your easy choice, 95.9 FM WEZC. And to read the latest local news on your electronic device, including tablets, iPhones, and smartphones, go to DeWittDailyNews.com. DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air, online, 24 hours a day.
Are you wanting to learn more about your health and wellness options in Central Illinois? Visit stealthwellness.com or click on my banner ad at DeWittDailyNews.com. Let me, Dr. Bill Byers, show you some simple, under-the-radar ways to improve and take control of your health.
Hi, I'm Brett with Central Cremation Center, and we proudly serve all of Central Illinois. We offer the most affordable and convenient arrangements in the area with plans starting at just $795. Many of our plans are available by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, my guest on the phone, Joey Long, director of the DeWitt County Museum and C.H. Moore Homestead. And Joey, I know January is when you really dial in on memberships and those renewals. How about becoming a member of the DeWitt County Museum?
Yes. So the DeWitt County Museum Association membership is open to anyone who would be interested in supporting us in our mission of preserving and promoting DeWitt County's history and heritage and the upkeep of the house and all the buildings and the grounds and the programming and the special events and everything. Memberships are one of the things that actually make it possible for us to do all these things. So memberships are renewed, they're annual, and they renew every January. So now is a great time to either renew your membership or to take out a new membership. Now, we do welcome new memberships throughout the year, but January would be the ideal time to do it since they run the calendar year from January through December. So memberships run from an individual membership, which is $20, a family membership for $30, $50 is the family and guest rate or the business rate. A supporting membership is $100, patron is $500, or a lifetime membership for $1,000. And membership does come with benefits, so it's unlimited free admission for daily tours at the museum, unlimited admission to the quilt show that we have each June throughout the month, and then it's free admission for house tours during the festival weekend, as well as all of our candlelight tours. And then in addition to that, all members receive a copy of the Homestead Gazette. That's the museum's newsletter that goes out twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. I have a lot of people that tell me that they take out membership just because they want the newsletter. It really is a nice little newsletter. So there's always a little biographical sketch or a look at, C.H. Moore, a letter from the director's desk, letter from the president's desk, some of my articles, I focus on artifacts of interest, just pull something and tell you what is so special about this thing that might not look special when you look at it, but then, you realize how special this item actually is. If anybody remembers when I used to write the Pieces of the Past for the Clinton Daily Journal, there are articles in there that put you in the mind of that. So just a lot of really neat things as far as, history articles and artifact articles, but then also up-to-date information about upcoming events and, special projects at the museum and things like that. So anyone who would be interested in becoming a member, you can call me at the museum. That's 217-935-6066 and request a membership form, or send an email and request a membership form. I'd be more than happy to send one out because, as they say, the more the merrier.
Now, why are these memberships so instrumental to the museum, Joey?
Well, the museum is actually privately funded, so we do not receive any tax dollars to help us with our operations. So the museum's income is solely based on memberships, daily admissions, donations, grants, and then, of course, the big one that helps us, get along is the Apple and Pork Festival.
Very good. Well, Joey, a couple of minutes left. Did I miss anything on memberships you want to put out there for us?
I don't think so. I do want to thank everyone who so far has sent in their renewals. And I also want to thank those who, yesterday in the mailbox, I had a few new members. And so really happy about that. And each year that list of members continues to grow. And it's something that I'm very proud of. And it makes me really happy to know that, the community does support the museum, that they see the value in having us there, that they, that our history matters to them, and, community support is everything, right? And I think the community is fortunate to have a museum of this scale and quality in such a small town as ours. But I think the museum is also fortunate to have the people in this town and this county and beyond who support the museum.
Sure. And again, Joey, you may have mentioned it. Is January the only time you can become a member? And how does one become a member?
No, the memberships run from January through December, so it's an annual membership. But people are welcome to join anytime, May, June, July, August, whenever. But the renewal time will be January, no matter when during the calendar year they join. And then all you need to do is request a membership form, and you can do that by giving me a call at the museum, and that number is 217-935-6066, or they can stop by the museum. We are closed for tours, but often there's someone there. So just stop by or give me a call. I'd be happy to get you a membership form, and we'd be happy to add you to the list.
Joey, always good to talk to you. Thanks for making time for us. Joey Long, director of the DeWitt County Museum, our guest. Network News on the way.